Welcome to Skins, episode 7, presented by Golf City Bets. We had, another one of those weeks where we picked some guys that did really well, picked a few that got cut, but we had Sepp Straka, who I was really high on, come T18. Harris English, you were really high on, came T18.
And
Tringali,
T3,
who's 6,900. If you took that into consideration when you were building your lineup, odds are you did pretty well.
Unfortunately, a lot of the high salary guys did not play.
The high salary guys did not
play. Most
of
them
well.
got cut, unless you picked Tony Finau. Pretty much everybody over 10,000 got cut.
I was really high on Fleetwood.
Also got cut.
We didn't have him in the lineup, but I was pretty high on him. Got cut. Yeah. So it was a little bit interesting. This week should be a little more predictable. Those like weird fields at places like the 3M Open, they're a little tough to handicap.
And as we mentioned on the podcast, no one's missing the cut this week.
So we're guaranteeing you everyone's going to make the cut.
Yes.
Guaranteeing you our guys are going to make the cut.
But the betting segment, a portion of the show, went pretty well. We had Johnny Vegas over Charlie Hoffman at
minus 120.
Minus 120, and
Which
Vegas.
They both missed the
both
cut.
Missed the cut, yeah.
But Vegas missed the cut by like 5 strokes less than Charlie.
Vegas beat 7 strokes.
7 strokes. You're right.
Beat him by 7 strokes. So that one seemed easy. I didn't know if it was going to be easy because like a lot of people are actually low-key high on Charlie Hoffman, which I was kind of surprised about.
6 over, he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. Our long shots of the week, you guys had yours cut, but Norlander came T23. Theegala, that was a long shot.
300 to 1 ball.
That
was like a
definition of a long shot.
You're like,
moonshot.
Pepperdine.
Pepperdine, college golfer, let's go.
Johnny Vegas was just one of those it was like a feel bet. It's like, he plays well at these types of
Johnny
events.
Vegas. I was convinced.
I was pretty high.
I was pretty high. I think we were all pretty high on Johnny Vegas.
And then first round leader Tringali plus 9,000, close, but he
finished
T3 finish, but first day he was like outside the top 10, I think.
Gotcha.
But right thinking.
We're getting there.
We're getting close.
We're getting close. So let's move into the lineup this week. I think we're pretty confident in this one, as we all are every week. But when Thursday comes around,
I had my own lineup. We're taking taking a different approach this week with lineups.
Yes.
I think next week we all might make a lineup next week.
We might all make a lineup for the PGA Championship. Special edition of this show. Anyway, for this week though, we're starting out with Bryson at 11,000. I mean, he's a really high salary guy, but at 11,000, I feel like it's pretty good value considering usually like at the Rocket Mortgage, he was like 11.7, I think.
Yeah, no, he's pretty good.
So I feel like they're undervaluing him because of his weird week at the Memorial where he like had a 10 on a hole, and without that, pretty sure he probably would have made the cut, right? Yeah,
this is also one of those weeks where the field is so stacked that you could get value lower down. So
exactly. I mean, if you need a guy has strokes gained off the tee as one of like the big stats this week, Bryson's your guy. And he putted well at the Rocket Mortgage too. This isn't going to be very tough greens this week.
Hopefully he just stays away from making a 10. And
exactly. Hopefully his mind stays out of the way.
There is a lot of water on this course.
Well, whatever. he's like third in bogey avoidance though. Yeah. So I like him.
What is he in quadruple bogey avoidance though?
In quadruple bogey avoidance, he might be up there.
He's probably.
But that's more.
Actually, I think that's quintuple bogey avoidance, isn't it?
I don't know what hole it was on.
10. But no, it was a 10, so it was a.
Yeah.
Was it a par 4 or par 5?
Well, if it's a par 4.
Par 4 doesn't matter.
It's par 4.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Sextuple bogey.
Okay, either way, let's move on to the next one.
Trevor.
Sorry, we got Victor Hovland, 9,400 again. What was he like last week, or like what did he didn't play last week? But like he was like. His salary's been so high before, and he's much lower than he usually is
because of the stacked field.
So 9,400 is not it's not a bad price for him at all.
One of the hottest players.
One of the hottest players in the tour. 8th in strokes gained off the tee and approach. Always just needs, if he finds the putter, he'll be golden. And if he did that for one weekend, he'll be golden. And he's like he's finished he was like T20 like every single week for like 3 or 4 weeks in a row.
From what I can gather from this course, it's that the greens aren't particularly tough as other weeks, so
clearly it's more. And Jeek said in the pod, if you're gonna the people who play well here, guys, are strokes gained off the tee is good. Like the winners are not finished lower than 16th in strokes gained off the tee.
Exactly.
So you got to hit the fairway, you got to hit the greens. And Hovland's one of the best in that in the world. Mm-hmm. So pretty good pick right there. Then we got Sergio Garcia, 8,000. pretty good value for a guy who's playing solid this year. AI 9 cuts, finished T40 last year. You play well at RBC Heritage. Is that where he finished like T10,
Yep.
like top 10 there.
Mm-hmm.
He's 15th in strokes gained, 450 to 500 yard par fours. Obviously, he's a great ball striker. He's third in strokes gained off the tee, second in strokes gained tee to green, 48th in strokes gained approach. So he knows, like I think someone mentioned that he's like has like the second most driving distance in like the world since like
exactly
last 2 years.
Besides Bryson.
Bryson. So if you're looking for a guy who's going to hit fairways and hit it long, Sergio's the guy.
Yeah, playing low-key well this year. Next, we're going to go with another ball striker. Corey Connors at 7,300. He's 4th in strokes gained ball striking, 16 in strokes gained off the tee. And he's just like another guy, kind of like Victor Hovland. He needs to find the putter. If he finds the putter, he could play pretty well because he's always showcases elite ball striking.
Right. I mean, we saw it at the RBC Heritage. He was in the final group on Saturday, I think, at the RBC?
Yeah, he was up there.
Give or take. And, he's showcasing like that elite ball striking, but he just really didn't have it with the putter all week. But even then, getting a guy at 7,300 who can finish like high like that, if he pulls it together, not bad. Next one's Max Homa, 7,200. He's 38th in strokes gained off the tee and approach. And his putting's finally coming around. He switched the putter. He's drowned out all the negativity on Twitter, according to him. It's all positivity now. And he had a really good week at the 3M. So he gained strokes putting there, which is something big for him when he's so good off the tee and approaching the green. So I think he'll be a good one this week.
And then last, we'll have Kevin Streelman at 6,900. He's 33rd in strokes gained off the tee, 72nd in approach, 71st in putting. But he's been playing well, had a nice little run besides the workday. And in that little run, he's ball striked really well. So, once again, low value, good play, I feel like.
Exactly. Like, he's been really good in that little run that Jeek just mentioned. So, 6,900 to cap it off. Like, you have a guy like Bryce in your lineup. You have a guy like Hovland.
Streelman at 6,900. That's a steal.
Exactly, because he's been like 8,400 recently.
He finched like T2.
I mean, there's a lot of guys with good value this week. I will say, on the podcast, I really like Gary Woodland, 8,600. I think.
Yeah.
So
big fan of Wolf this week. But anyway, I guess that'll take us into our long shots. I got Matthew Wolf at 90-1. He's 15th in strokes gained off the tee. His ball striking actually has been really good recently, even though his strokes gained approach stats aren't fantastic. But since he started playing well, since the return of the tour, it's been up there, and
also
his putting has been really good as well. So,
yeah. I'm kind of going a little outside here. Kevin Kisner 125-1.
It's not 300-1 like.
Not that far outside, but like. Still, like, this is more of a gut pick for me. He was 3rd at the Rocket Mortgage a couple weeks ago. He's 31st in driving accuracy. And, like, no stats really stand out to me. He's just a solid player. Could get hot off the putter. The last WGC event, he finished in 18th. So, good fields he kind of plays well in. Kind of a gut pick.
So I go with my...
Last time I went with a gut pick, it was, like, Chris Kirk. And, like, it was so random, and he played really well, so...
I'm really high on Sergio this week, so I'm gonna go with him 70-1. As I mentioned before, he's an awesome ball striker. He great off the tee, great tee to green, pretty good approach shot. T40 last year, not the best, but like he's playing. I think he's playing better last year than he did better this year than he did last year for sure as well.
Agreed.
So I think he's at that value. I think he's a good chance to finish top 20 at least, and definitely could win this tournament.
Also, we skipped over Expose the Bookie, so we'll go to Expose the Bookie now.
We
were between a couple. They both involve Tyrell Hatton, who's been playing sick this year. The one we decided on, Tyrell Hatton, top 3 English player at -137.
We're going big on the top 3, like nationality.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
it's
Tyrell
one
Hatton,
of those weeks where like they do that.
Yeah,
like,
which I like that. I think that's nice.
Tyrell Hatton's been unreal lately. As we mentioned on the pod, he was #1 in ball striking right now. Really good in all those like categories of like strokes gained off the tee, strokes gained approach. And he's been putting. He's #1 in putting, I think, too. So just having a sick year. He hasn't finished lower than top 20 in any of his starts.
That's wild.
In the last 2 WGC events, he's been in the top 15. the other English players in the field, Fitzpatrick, who actually has been playing well. That's the only one I feel like has been playing well out of this group. Fitzpatrick, Fleetwood, Casey, Poulter, Willett, Wallace, and Lewis.
And of those first four, I think those are the first four that I have a chance to beat him.
The other bet we were on.
Willett's been playing well.
Yeah, well, like I feel like of those first five, I feel like only one or two is going to play better than Tyler Hatton.
Yeah. Tom Lewis also has been playing well.
Now the other bet we were on was Hatton top 20, and Pat kind of put it as well, if he finishes top 20, then he'll probably finish in the top 3 English players, and then.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be the other way around.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because he can finish outside the top 20 and still be top 3.
I mean, those are two bets that I like. Top 20 is plus 110 if you're looking for more value.
I think top 3. Yeah, top 20 is more value, but I think top 3
is
English
safer. Players is almost a lock.
I wouldn't say it's I wouldn't say it's a lock.
I feel hesitant to say lock, but it's
I,
one of those.
I feel like he's he's the best English player in the field right now. So I think he's pretty good.
And if you're wondering why we didn't pick him for DFS, it's because he's owned by 27% of people right now in lineups, that's a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, I still might put him in my lineup because I just have.
If you really
think he's gonna win.
If you really think he's gonna win, then that makes sense. But that's a gamble to throw out there. I think he has more value right now on the betting side of things than DFS.
Yeah. And then first round leader, as explained in the pod, we're gonna go Xander Schauffele plus 2,800. 7th in strokes gained off the tee. In his last WGC events, he's finished T14 and 2nd. He also had an opening round 66 at the SBC. So we know he could go low. He's 8th in scoring average, 16th in scoring average before the cut. But since there's no cut this week, that kind of works in his favor first round. So
again, guaranteed all our guys are making the cut. Just
guaranteed. They're all making the cut or your money back.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then next week we got the PGA.
And then next week we got the PGA. I mean it should be a good week. We might have a special show for you. But other than that, let's have a good week this week and bring some momentum into the first major of the year.